You're listening to a CanadianMovieCrew.com production.
Ready to Rumble is the story of two idiots helping their favorite wrestler get back to the top. Or is it?
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Welcome back to the Or Is It Movie podcast, where we try to find the real story behind the story. I'm Derek.
And I'm ashamed of you, Derek. I think you should have put a little more pizzazz into that. We got the great Michael Buffer in this movie. So, ladies and gentlemen and children of all ages, welcome to the Or Is It podcast. Something like that, right? Let's get ready to podcast. I didn't want to say rumble because I didn't want to get sued. But anyway.
I was going to say, yeah, that's why I didn't do it, because I didn't want to get sued.
And I mean, Mark. All right.
He's very protective of this trademark. Did you notice he changed anyway? We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Joining us today in studio is Studio 4 in Ottawa, Ontario. Basically the comedy condo.
Wait, may I do this one?
Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the microphone, hailing from Texas. You know him, you love him, Scott White.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Sorry, I couldn't resist. It's a wrestling episode.
I saw this movie in the theaters. Yes. So
really?
Derek, he presented this to us. He said, I got two movies. One is Ready to Rumble, and one is The Garbage Pail Kids. And the internet is full of Garbage Pail Kids reviews. And so I thought, that's been done a lot. Let's go with Ready to Rumble. The movie is an hour and 45 minutes. Why is this movie so long?
For so long? This was a quick 145. Are you kidding?
Yeah, really. In post Lord of the Rings, I mean, $1.45 is nothing. I'm barely getting comfy in my seat, you know.
Yeah, Oppenheimer. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get to this, because this is a long list. We can welcome to the show Scott Kahn, Joe Pantoliano, which I thought he's been on the show before, but apparently not.
Wait, did we do Daredevil?
We did do Daredevil, so he is a
welcome back, Joe Pants. Yep.
Martin Landau.
Yeah.
Caroline Ray. Melanie Paxson, and shocker that he's not been on this show before, David Arquette.
Yeah, how have we not done a David Arquette movie? I mean, over on our retrospective, he was, of course, part of Scream.
Scream, of course, but
never on Or Is It?
Yeah, I guess we'll get to him, I guess. But we can welcome back, and here's some of these are double offenders here. So Oliver Platt from both Lake Placid and 2012. Rose McGowan, who was in Encino Man.
Oh, that's right.
Richard Linebeck, who I believe was his father in this movie. He was in both Twister and Speed that we did.
But sort of, you know.
Kind of, sort of. And Chris Owen, a.k.a. the Shermanator from She's All That.
That's right.
Then
Rose McGowan, didn't she get in trouble for something? Like she tweeted something?
I believe she was one of the forefronts of the Me Too movement.
Okay, I actually thought she got canceled for something, or
You know what? So many people get canceled for everything these days. Right. I have no idea. We'll take a look. From 2000, this one, very reminiscent of the 90s comedy American Pie road trip movies.
Yeah.
This is, to me, this is sort of a carbon copy of Dumb and Dumber.
It kind of is.
You get the two idiots, you get the road trip. He's in Dumb and Dumber, they're trying to find his one true love. Here they're trying to help a wrestler. So to me it's just a clone of Dumb and Dumber.
But just not as good.
Just nowhere near as good.
Yeah.
I watched this movie last night at around 2 a.m. right before Derek sent his gay porn joke. Okay, I just realized that we set that up in another podcast, so no one knows what we're talking about.
Now you have to go listen.
Nope, we're going to leave it right there. We're going to leave it right there. So Derek just sent out a gay porn joke at 3 a.m, and we'll figure that out. And it's like this movie is already escaping from my brain. It's just so hard. It's like nothing really happens.
But a lot of poop jokes happen. An egregious amount when you're trying to have dinner while watching the movie. Amount of poop jokes.
Yes,
it was gross. I did not finish my meal. And they keep coming back to that well over and over again. Just when we think we're done with them, someone ends up in a sewer.
So the two main characters, their job is to clean out outhouse or porta potties.
Yeah.
So that's why we keep going back to shit joke after shit joke after shit joke.
But even at the beginning, though, it's even weirder, I think, because you have the cop. So David Arquette's character's dad,
who, by the way, they both look the same age. When he called him Dad, I'm like, Dad?
Yeah.
It's like he's only like 3-4 years older than you.
Yeah, exactly. You probably went to high school together.
Yes, he was a senior and you were a freshman.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't looked it up, but it looks that way too. I had a hard time believing. You think that'd be the older brother, maybe?
That would have made more sense. The older brother.
Yeah,
I'm following Dad's footsteps. You should follow in Dad's footsteps.
Yeah, it works just as well anyway, right? Then you could have had someone else as the retired cop or whatever, but. But this cop rolls up to the convenience store where you have, first of all, I don't know why they didn't do a crossover with Kevin Smith and have him play the clerk. That would have been fun. But he molests his son's best friend.
Yeah.
Like, does the pat down, cups the sack.
Yeah.
Now I know why Derek was sending gay jokes at 3 a.m, but still, like it was. Like, why is this cop is molesting his son's friend and thinks he's fine.
Okay. We should call these guys cops in quotations.
Oh, right past this. I'm sorry.
we should call these cops in quotations because they're not really cops. His sister, he goes home and he finds out, your sister shot her first perp today. It's like, you're not supposed to shoot them. You're supposed to arrest them. Later on in the movie, the father gets mad at a picture or a postcard that his son sends him, and then he ends up putting it on the fridge and then shoots it.
And he missed
the only
5 out of the 6 shots.
Yeah, and the only thing we're missing out of this is to, let's go down to the jailhouse and cornhole us a drunk. That's the level that we're at in this movie for these cops.
Yeah, and he's
this cop,
trooper.
I should say.
Right? It's not local PD, it's a state trooper, right?
He's a state
supposed
trooper.
To be a higher level, isn't it, Scott?
Well, this was back when you would see when it was comical for police to abuse detainees or criminals while they were in custody. If you look back, there's a whole string of movies where it's okay to beat a perp up in the interrogation room.
Yeah. As long as you're doing it fun, in a hilarious manner.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're worried about trying to identify when this was, not only does the police abuse seem hilarious, but also that song "My Own Worst Enemy" will come on 8 times, and
it's in there twice, and it's not on the soundtrack. I looked it up. I was like, this has to be on the soundtrack. I'm like, it's not on the soundtrack, but Sting's entrance music is.
Yeah. The Sting's entrance is DDP's.
DDP's is as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Now,
this naked
I will
is
say,
on it.
so, but this is the last movie we all did together was Roctopussy. This movie is a real movie. It had a $24 million budget. They brought in all the wrestlers. It's not like all the WCW wrestlers. They're all Mean Gene. Let's get rid of the Rumble guy. Forgot his name.
Michael Buffer.
Michael Buffer. So it's the whole schmear. This is a bona fide Hollywood movie.
It's a major motion picture.
This was a major motion picture. Yeah. And it's just hard to like a major, such a poor. I guess I shouldn't be, like this is weighing on my mind, like but this is just a poor big budget movie. Not big budget, but a Hollywood movie.
You know what? In the 2000s, though, 24 million for a comedy, that's a pretty big budget.
Yeah.
Because you had others coming out for like maybe doing like 15. And you know what I mean? Like they give Reese Witherspoon a bunch of money and then she does stuff, that kind of stuff. But so I think 24 million is a pretty decent budget this is 23 years ago now, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you have Joey Pants, you got Oliver Platt, they were, pretty much in their heyday, I think, right around here. You have like Oliver Platt did Three Musketeers.
Is that really the big one?
That's a big one.
I don't know if that's. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. But
I think A Time to Kill was more of a bigger one
Time
for
to Kill.
Oliver Platt.
Yeah, for sure.
Three Musketeers. I don't know if he brags about at parties. Is all I'm saying.
Well, and oddly enough, while Joey Pants there is, if he's not getting known for The Matrix 1 year before, he's probably filming this in '99.
Yeah.
And then everyone's walking around in leather trench coats.
Yeah. So this movie's all about
steak taste,
So the movie's all about two WCW fans, and of course, back in the '90s and the early 2000s, professional wrestling was immensely popular. More people were watching wrestling in the United States than the combined populations of New York, Boston, and Chicago. New York, LA, and Chicago. So that gives you an idea. Every Monday night, millions and millions of people are watching wrestling.
Let alone around the world. Yeah.
By the time this came out, they weren't watching WCW. I've been a wrestling fan from like 1987 till about 3 or 4 years ago. So I know when people were watching, and they weren't watching WCW back then. When it was being written and filmed in '99, probably, yeah, they probably were. But
it's interesting that it's WCW and not WWE.
It would have been WWF at the time, I believe. Was it still
WWF? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. No, still would have been WWF.
Like Vince didn't want to. I don't know if they approached Vince or if David Arquette was really just a fan of WCW. Like, do we know?
This was written by WCW.
Oh, it was.
Yes.
Okay. Now, is it true that the main character, the King, is based on Jerry the King Lawler?
No.
Not at all.
Not at all. No.
Really?
The King gimmick is multiples of people have been king in wrestling.
I thought that's why they hired Oliver Platt, because he's not exactly like, he's not built like Goldberg or any of these guys.
Well, and they keep pointing it out. It's like Oliver, all of these wrestlers are just jacked.
Yeah.
And Oliver Platt is, he's got this fat dad bod, and because he's always like head to toe. He's covered.
Yeah.
He's not wearing wrestler's tight where all the other one, their chests are out. You can see their muscles, and I will give them credit, the fact that they do, like, during the movie, they say like basically that it's fake. It's like, well, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, but then they also say we're going to go real. I guess they're playing both sides of the fence here, where they let us know that it's fake, but at any moment it could go real.
Yeah. That's the hard thing about this movie, because there's a lot in it as a wrestling fan that they get right. And then there's some really bad things they get horribly wrong. So the two idiots, they're going to WCW Nitro, and their favorite wrestler, Jimmy the King, is going to be facing Diamond Dallas Page in the main event for the title. And what they get right is sometimes a promoter would screw over one of the wrestlers to get the title away. That's happened multiple times, most famously in 1997 with Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. in Montreal. But it's happened multiple times and all over the territories back in the 60s and 70s. So that would really happen. The fact that later on he hides in a porta potty and jumps Diamond Dallas Page on live TV and then gets a match for the title and $1 million never would happen.
No way.
That camera would cut, nobody would see it, and then there'd just be a whole bunch of rumors on the internet.
And the cops would be called.
The cops would be called because you don't work there anymore, and you're trespassing. We're not going to invite you back in at a pay-per-view to participate in a triple cage match.
Yeah, that'd be like I used to work for telecom. That'd be me like going right back into the call center, getting up on the cubicle and double axe handle off the top cubicle to my former manager, and then here, have a seat and do your job. Here's your job back. Oh, with a raise, but now you're the manager now. Like you don't just do that to your former boss.
There's also a subtle message in this: never meet your heroes, because these two are just enamored with Oliver Platt's character, and it turns out that he is just a lowlife. He's abandoned his son, he's abandoned his wife, he doesn't have any money, he doesn't treat people well. And they're having a hard time accepting that. They think it's the spin machine. It's like they're making him look this bad, but it really is this bad. And it's also a movie about redemption where the king, stops being a loser and starts winning.
So, yeah, I found that to be watching this movie nowadays, where they're like, it's just Sinclair who's the promoter. They're putting this out on the internet to make Jimmy the King look bad. And I'm like, okay, back in 2000, that was funny because that's stupid.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
it could be almost true.
It's like, that's the news. You know what I mean? So, but
our protagonist really, and it sort of has to be this way, I think, for the movie to work, where the protagonists have to keep on believing. Even after they find out Santa Claus isn't real, they're still believing in Christmas for that Christmas cheer. So the same spirit of that, right? Where it's like, it doesn't matter if you say it's fake. I think it's real. Therefore, we should go ahead with this crazy plot where you're going to go get beat up by 30 tough guys in a steel cage and try and get your old job back.
Well, it's you brought up Santa Claus because at one point the king reveals himself to these two guys. It's like, I'm just a fat drunk loser. I don't exist. And then David Arquette goes, I have a question. How can you not exist if we believe in you? And it's like, well, that's just like the same fucking argument for Santa Claus.
They stole a Christmas movie.
Yeah. You can believe in Santa Claus all you want. He's not real.
Yeah. They might as well have had Oliver Platt throwing presents off the top rope and just with a beard. It's the same thing. It's a premise, like they kind of stole Dumb and Dumber and like 18 Christmas movies and
a Hallmark Christmas movie.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of Reese Witherspoon, right?
Well, Mark, you asked why this movie wasn't done by WWE, and I can tell you why it's not done by WWE, because WWE tried this before. It was called No Holds Barred.
Oh, I remember. I saw that one in theaters.
So did I.
So it was kind of like Nintendo making the Super Mario Brothers movie in 1993.
Okay.
That went so badly, we're just not going to do it again until The Rock comes in and starts making his own movies. Because WWE wasn't participating in any movie making until after The Scorpion King.
Right, once they saw what they had.
Yeah, well, they had The Rock. That's what they had. Yeah.
And where was he in 99? 99.
He was WWE.
Yeah, okay. So there was no way.
He was in WWE.
It's too bad because I think instead of Oliver Platt, well, I guess if he had The Rock, it wouldn't matter, right? Because he'd just beat everybody. He doesn't beat
anybody.
Yeah.
I get it makes sense from the standpoint where it's staged that somebody in the condition of Oliver Platt could go to the heights. Clearly not in the same physical condition as all the other wrestlers around him.
Yeah. In professional wrestling, personality is almost 75% of the job, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah.
Like if you have you might not be in the best shape or be the best wrestler, but if you have a character that everybody loves and you're selling T-shirts and merchandise, that seems to be. I'm literally wearing. I'm wearing a wrestling shirt today in honor of this podcast. It's a CM Punk one. Now that guy had charisma and talent, which is what made him. But I mean, his charisma was more
just
than
a horrible backstage attitude. So, no, the guy out of shape guys have reigned supreme in wrestling for years.
Oh yeah.
You take a look at
in the 60s and like the muscular wrestlers. They didn't start until like the 80s.
Yeah,
because all those Gorgeous George and all them, Dick the Bruiser, they were just
George the
Animal Steel. They were just fat guys, you know.
Yeah. They were like Armstrong.
Yes,
they
were like
they ate whatever they want and they worked hard and they
just baled hay all day. Yeah,
and then now they're throwing bodies.
They worked the back 40.
Yeah.
But back then they trained for endurance, and it started in the 80s. That's when they started training for the muscle.
Yes.
So
I think Hogan was really a big kind of
Hogan was probably the factor for that.
Look who comes after Ultimate Warrior and guys like that.
Ultimate Warrior,
steroids.
Look at Sergeant Slaughter. He was 6'5", close to 300 pound. He looked like Dumpty from Polka Dot Door. That's a Canadian reference.
Yeah.
But he was world champion.
What about Doink the Clown?
Doink the Clown was not ever in fantastic shape.
Yeah.
But one of the greatest workers I've ever seen, to be very honest with you.
Big Boss Man.
Big Boss Man, yeah. He was 300 pounds easy.
Yeah.
Or One Man Gang or / the Akeem the African Dream, the white guy who danced badly to South African music.
Actually, there's one in this movie, Bam Bam Bigelow.
Bam Bam Bigelow.
Famously just a big guy, but he could move like nothing else.
And
he could do.
But then, like Booker T, he was in and Goldberg. It's like that guy.
Well, these guys are like I'd never seen Booker T look better because I've only seen him lately. So for me, wrestling, I watched in the 80s during the Hogan era.
Sorry.
I just threw Booker T under the bus. And
I've never seen Booker T look any better because I've only seen him lately.
Yeah.
What a great line.
He's not in the ring anymore, right? He's an announcer. So I'm
going to cut that out and tweet it to him.
Oh, good. Great. Now I've got an enemy in Booker T. Uh-oh. But yeah, for me, wrestling, I watched back in the 80s as a kid. And then at this time when this is being filmed, I'm not watching wrestling. At this point, I was married and working like 3 jobs and didn't have time for any of this stuff. The closest I came was one of my jobs at Toys R Us. So I saw action figures for all these guys that I have no idea who the hell they are. And then and then later on, actually, Derek is part of why I came back and watched wrestling for a little while again and got sort of caught up on this stuff. And that's our podcast history too, because he and a friend of the show, KMA Jackson, had a podcast about wrestling. They brought me on when I started watching again. Just to kind of get that perspective of someone who hasn't been watching this whole time and what do I think now. So it was a little different. And then we actually parlayed that into what we're doing today. So a wrestling episode is kind of like long overdue for us, you know what I mean? Because it kind of speaks to where this show came from. And none of that's funny. It's just stuff that happened. But anyway, yeah. Well, what we're doing, fat shaming Oliver Platt.
Yes. So Jimmy King gets screwed in the ring, and you know that the punches have gone from fake to real because now they have sound effects behind them.
And blood.
And well, no, because before it was they were just wrestling and they were talking, and all of a sudden, poof, poof, poof. Yeah. I'm like, oh, now you know it's real, right?
Yeah, instead of the usual stomp punch, which would where you make the noise with your foot to punctuate.
But what I love too is part of the beatdown is all of the guys from the backs come in and they start kicking the shit out of Jimmy the King and they're stomping on him like like wrestlers do. But they're actually punching him and they're actually kicking him, and then they do what they call a four post massacre.
Yeah,
which is basically just 4 diving headbutts off the top rope. It's
at the same time, so well choreographed.
Yeah, it's a totally inefficient move that would never happen more than once in the real world of wrestling. But
I will say they filmed the wrestling scenes very, very well.
They did.
Yeah.
But they are consummate professionals when it comes to that, at
Which is
least.
difficult because Oliver Platt not being a wrestler, it's like, so they had to splice in him and then the stunt double.
Yeah.
A lot of that. I mean, you could clearly tell when it wasn't Oliver Platt, but they did the best they could. And they had to hire an actor in that role. I don't think a wrestler could have pulled off the acting chops.
Not in WCW.
No.
Maybe The Rock. That's why I was
Yeah.
wondering.
Yeah.
But even then, early to
But
late
then
90s,
you wouldn't
early
believe
2000s.
you wouldn't believe that The Rock could be beaten.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I thought Diamond Dallas Page was the perfect one to be
The heel.
the heel in this movie. I think he was a babyface at the time, but he still has that look, that sort of greasy look.
And I'm guessing out of all of them, he's probably
he's
the
from
closest to an
Jersey.
actor.
Yeah, he's from Jersey. He can talk. He's got the charisma to do it. So I thought that was a good choice.
And then Sid Vicious as a goon. That's the other thing that amused me was like the idea that the professional wrestlers don't really have a will of their own, that they're just hired goons for the Joey Pants character.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like even the ladies.
Some of
like,
them.
You do what I say, and if you want a seat at the table, so to speak.
And that's the thing. Like the Nitro girls, aside from Rose McGowan, were the actual Nitro girls from Nitro.
Yeah, this is how you can tell I wasn't watching, because I would have known all of their names.
Oh, yeah. Well, one of them was Booker T's. It ended up being Booker T's wife.
Oh,
the African American one. Do you remember at the end of the movie where they're in the hot tub with Martin Landau? The African American one is Booker T's wife. That's Charmel.
Oh, Charmel.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the dancers they probably never focused on was Whisper, and that became the wife of Shawn Michaels. So take that for what it's worth. A little trivia there for you, but
this was.
But even the referees.
What's that? Sorry.
But even the referees were WCW referees.
Yeah, and Mean Gene.
It's Charles Robinson.
Yeah.
Mean Gene. He wasn't an announcer, but he wasn't a ring announcer. But
No.
but they got him in the movie, and the commentators, Tony Schiavone and the other one, actual ring and actual announcers.
Yeah, so for them, it's almost like a day at work, really.
They get paid. Yeah. I'm sure they're like, I'm already working for whoever, WCW. This is just an extra paycheck.
Yeah, exactly. Get to be in a movie, so that's kind of cool.
And they're playing and the thing is, this movie flopped, and they're not going to get any of the brunt of the blow. It's just like I'm not an actor. I'm an announcer.
I'm just doing what I do normally on Monday nights. Yeah.
And all the wrestlers are fine. It's like
they actually get to slow down and have cuts so they can redo moves if they don't go well.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that. Yeah. What got me with this one was Mean Gene. So that's where homage to Mean Gene. That's where I took Mean Mark from back when I was doing the wrestling podcast. So the guys had their own little handles or wrestling monikers. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know, Mean Mark. There we go. It was just on a whim. And but I love Mean Gene in this one because he's a consummate professional. Here's this guy who basically is almost going to get murdered in the middle of the ring, and Mean Gene's just calling it like he sees it. He's just, nope, this is your new champion, and you know what I mean? Like he's not. There's no backstage shenanigans. He's not going to the boss being like, I didn't think this was supposed to happen. Mm-hmm. He doesn't question a thing. He's just like, yep, DDP, you win. Here you go, and new champion. Like it's back. Right into the interview. Consummate professional. I thought it was hilarious because of all the mayhem around him.
So let me ask this question. Did you laugh at anything in this movie?
No.
I know. Like I said, I was kind of grossed out by all the shit jokes.
No.
And
I did not find a single thing funny in this movie.
I think maybe some of the wrestlers stuff. Maybe that's the only thing, right? Because I know that they're not actors, so every once in a while. Like
the only thing I chuckled at
I didn't find anything intentionally funny.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
The only thing I found funny was the fact that somebody comes out, and it's like, oh, they're coming out to save Jimmy King and it's the Goldberg and Kidman and Disco Inferno, and I'm like, okay, if you know Disco Inferno, he ain't helping you. Like he sucked diddly yucked. Okay, let me tell you. But That's about the only thing that made me laugh. But no, not intentionally. No, especially when like the shit truck spills over and then gets crashed into by a toilet paper truck.
What are the odds?
Which, okay, I know it's a joke, but why is the toilet paper stacked individually?
Yeah. Why is it not in the package?
Why
aren't they in packages?
I thought this stuff came in boxes. Where are the boxes?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, this is the stuff that's not landing. Like the wrestling stuff's working for me, so to speak, just because it's done well, like you said, Scott. And I did like Ninja Martin Landau. I thought that, he's beating the shit out of Sid Vicious, and who's the other guy?
Perry Saturn.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an old Mission Impossible fan. I like, Martin Landau. But once again, like obviously stunt doubles because he was in his 70s, whatever in this movie came out.
Yeah, Sid Vicious is not going to punch Martin Landau in the face.
And he had a couple of quips. He was teaching a high school wrestling team and a couple of things. Once again, Martin Landau, consummate professional. He's in this piece of shit movie, but he gives it his all. There's like not a touching scene, but there's a scene after Martin Landau gets beat up and he's in the hospital giving Oliver Platt
some advice.
And it's like he's both him and Oliver Platt. It's like they're both selling it in this scene, which sucks that it's in this movie.
Yeah, it's actually a touching moment, and
yeah.
Well, that's the thing is that this is where I get mine back from the Star Trek episodes and the Driving Miss Daisy references, because Martin Landau in this movie is actually based on a real person.
Is it Stu Hart?
Stu Hart, who obviously the patriarch of the Hart family: Bret Hart, Owen Hart, Bruce Hart, Keith Hart. And he was from the early 1900s. He was a natural hooker or a shooter, what they called back then, a real wrestler who could take you down anyway. And he was training guys into his 70s and 80s, literally doing what this Martin Landau character was doing.
Yeah, he was still getting in the ring and twisting arms and legs, wasn't he?
Well, he wasn't getting in the ring, but he was still training people in what they called the dungeon in Calgary. So
I thought he would actually get in every once in a while, and just to demonstrate a lock or two, he would still do it. Like
not on TV.
Like he wasn't running the ropes, but
No, he would just train guys, and he would just show them moves and how to get out of them. So that's a real character. Now, would he be able to take on Sid Vicious and Perry Saturn? No. So there's obviously he's not popping up from out of the floorboards. Hey, fellas, want to wrestle? Flip him over. No.
I was wondering if this was basically a Stu Hart type thing, because I heard stories.
Stu Hart, Luthez, both the same way. Danny Hodge, that's old school.
Scott, this is what it was like during the Star Trek episodes for him,
right?
That's
exactly what it is. I was going to say, I'm getting it back.
But I know wrestling. It's like I knew most of the wrestlers in there.
I didn't actually. There's a lot I didn't recognize. Like I recognized Perfect, Bam Bam Bigelow, but quite a few of them I didn't know.
The most obscure guy I saw in this movie was a guy called Van Hammer, and he was basically a wrestler that played the guitar really well.
Oh, cute.
Not Van Halen. He was Van Hammer.
So were you watching wrestling at this time? Like, were you watching?
No. I was done with wrestling. Yeah, by this time. And speaking of Van Halen, we forgot the scene where they get picked up by a van full of nuns.
Why is every traveling movie there's a scene where they get picked up by hitchhiking nuns or singing nuns?
And they start singing "Running with the Devil."
Sure. Yeah, that would happen right away.
Yeah.
And then they get out, and it's like, did you fart? No, I didn't fart. Did you fart? No, I didn't fart. Well, it was the farting nuns. Like, what?
$24 million.
Yes.
Never mentioned again. Just completely dropped.
Yeah, I thought there was a
You know what would have been funny if, like, during Like if the nuns came back and hopped in the ring and started helping.
Maybe the nuns versus the Nitro Girls or something
Yeah,
like
or
that,
something
right?
like
You have
that,
the farting nuns, and then they could fart again, and then all of a sudden now the girls are like all put out, like
Maybe Rose McGowan is sitting amongst them, and then they all fart, and that's how she gets
yeah. Run in with the farting nuns.
I didn't remember the part, but when Rose McGowan throws herself at David Arquette, I immediately thought, oh, she's working for Joey Pants.
Yeah.
I figured that out immediately, and not remembering it. Yeah, so
I know this is just a character, and I know he may be a totally different person outside of the movies, but how in the hell did he ever land Courtney Cox?
Yeah, this.
I watched this movie and I'm like, this guy in it? Like Dewey? Really?
Yeah. This guy we see here, Gordy, does not get Courtney Cox. Does not get Rose McGowan.
Yeah.
But he barely gets that wrestling is fake, so
he still doesn't get it. I mean, yeah, it was like at the end and to me these guys are way too old to keep, to believe that wrestling is real, and they're going to go on this, road trip to figure it out. I think the main characters should have been younger, like in their 18, 19. I don't know.
You say that. I'm going to challenge you to go online and look up the "It's Still Real to Me, Damn It" guy.
Okay.
This was a viral video from the early 2000s around this movie. There was a guy at a wrestling convention where all the old stars from the 60s and 70s were taking questions from the audience. And the guy gets the mic, and instead of asking a question, he goes, a lot of people call it fake. And then he starts to cry. And he says, but it's still real to me, damn it. It's still real to me. And then other guys around him start putting arms around his shoulder to console him, like, yes, it's still real to us too. And the man is in his 50s.
Whoa.
It's pretty sad. I get what he's saying. I appreciate, as a wrestling fan, I could appreciate the sentiment. But dude, okay.
Yeah.
You're breaking down in front of Ric Flair. Shut up.
How embarrassing for you. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right. They should be younger.
Because these guys are like almost 30.
But they can't be too much, because
no, they can't be too much younger, or else they can't get into their shenanigans. Like they can't be seduced by a Nitro girl if they're exactly. 17.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, 19 maybe, but that's still. But that's, and then talk about belief in your kid, eh? Like the dad thinks his son's an idiot, but yet he's still going to somehow pass the state police exam and become a cop. Yeah. Which apparently you don't have to go to school for. You just got to pass a test, and here's your gun and badge. I don't know how it works. I've never tried to be a cop for it, but this movie would have you think it's just 3 hours in a classroom and you're certified.
Yeah, it's a test.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. First I go get my driving test and then my cop test,
So they take the hitchhiking nuns and they meet up with the Shermanator, who is playing the Jimmy the King video game.
Yeah, which that'll happen. You have a whole wrestling game based around one guy.
Yeah. And then they said, well, we're trying to find Jimmy the King. He's like, I think I can help you with that. I can find anyone on the net. And I'm like, oh, that's not creepy.
I was like, oh no. Yeah.
And it's extra creepy just because it's coming from the Shermanator.
Yeah.
And I know that's not fair, but it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Well, his delivery was kind of creepy, but
his delivery was kind of creepy. And not only that, but he's right. Yeah. He finds Jimmy the King's address and his ex-wife's name and his other ex-wife's address and the
parents,
the son, the parents.
Oh, Kathleen Freeman, like the wonderful character actress who played. Yeah, she's been in everything.
Yeah,
like she shows up in this. Okay, I'll so one. I wouldn't call it a laugh, but I'm like, okay. They're talking, the two morons are talking to the king's parents, and they're telling him that, he barely graduated the 10th grade. And he's like, no, I read his authorized biography.
Oh, yeah.
And he went to, after you died, sir, in a plane crash, he went, it's okay.
Yeah.
Mildly funny. Yeah.
But that's the thing, is that they keep having to do these idiotic things to sell that they would still believe wrestling is real, even after they're told by their hero it is not.
Yes.
Like, they actively are ignoring the facts coming at them and just choosing to believe whatever the hell they want.
Which sounds a lot like the political climate nowadays. It's like, I'm just going to ignore the facts given to me and just keep going with the narrative. So,
I just thought that'd be a fun way to live if you can get away with it.
That is a great way to live.
Facts don't mean a thing. If I, you know what I mean? Like, that would be some way to live. Speaking of his ex-wife, here's a blast from the past. Caroline Ray.
Yeah.
Caroline Ray.
Remember when she was the thing, everybody?
Looking like Mimi Bobek from the Drew Carey Show.
Drew Carey Show?
Oh, yeah, that's right. She played Drew's cop girlfriend for a while. And,
yeah, but she's looking like Mimi from the Drew Carey Show.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she was a thing for a hot minute there.
Well, yeah, she was a stand-up comedian, and she was on Sabrina, the Teenage Witch. She was on that TV show.
Didn't she get her own?
That I don't know.
Her own. I thought she got her own show. I might be wrong, but anyway.
I don't think so.
I just remember she was everywhere, and then she's nowhere. Like, I have no idea. I haven't seen Caroline Ray.
She's been working. She did that last one laughing Canada version.
Oh, okay.
It's on Amazon.
And last time I saw her, she was on The Biggest Loser, right? The weight loss show.
Oh yeah.
And they fired her because she kept gaining weight. Or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. So what happens? They track him down. They finally track him down to the trailer park.
Now I find it hard to believe. I know they mentioned he's filed bankruptcy and all, but I just find it hard to believe that he is living like this after being on top of the wrestling community for 14 years, however long it was be. I know it's set up that he's mismanaged his money and all that, but nobody is living like he is living after, being the main attraction in WCW. That does.
It's weird that it's so quickly, because I think it's like a week after this, like after he gets fired.
Yeah, well, we see the event, and the boys don't go home. They immediately hit the road to go to Atlanta to start their search. So, it's about a week, you would think. Like, it's not like they're on the road for a month before finding.
Well, and his parents said that, like, he came by last week to borrow our mobile home.
Yeah,
and
so.
He would only do that after he was fired, so I would assume.
I mean, I guess there are stories about, athletes in all sports mismanaging their money.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you ever seen The Wrestler?
It doesn't happen a week afterwards,
Yeah, you think you'd have a couple bucks around, yeah.
And it was like, if this is real life, go to WW. You're banned from WCW. Fine, go to WWF. Go to there's other wrestling. It's like it's the equivalent of Mark Landau being in this movie. It's like he was a huge name back in the 60s and 70s. He's still a name, not as big, but he's in this movie. That totally works for wrestling. Sure, I'm not the biggest name ever, but I'm still a name. So if you put me in your...
You were just the champion. Yeah.
You were just the champion. So
clout.
Somebody from WWF is going to gobble him up. Absolutely. Or even from even something not on the same level as WCW.
Like NWA or something.
NWA, something like that, yeah.
But guys, in this movie, those ones don't exist.
Right.
That's true. They can't.
Vince McMahon doesn't exist in this universe.
Vince McMahon
so we've never had the XFL in this universe.
Vince McMahon wears
good universe to live in.
Has a ponytail in this one. That's
yeah.
Oh, Joe Pantoliano, whatever. He's got a terrible toupee in this movie.
Luckily, he keeps it under a hat most of the time.
For most of the time.
But he's basically doing the Southern Colonel style of.
Like Bobby the Brain. That's a version of Bobby the Brain Heenan to me.
He's wearing like that, like the Native American jacket. and he's obviously not Native American. You know, he bought it at the casino.
Right.
You know what I mean?
This is what a tourist would wear after coming out of Santa Fe, New Mexico. This is what I would be wearing if I went to New Mexico for a week and then just bought all the trophy shit. You know what I mean? Like, not stuff a real person would wear. Yeah, he's a hilarious. I mean, don't get me wrong. Joe Pants is a great heel in and of himself. He's smarmy. He can play mean like nobody else. So yeah. I mean, great guy to play your shit heel promoter for sure. Who was the main promoter back then? The owner?
Eric Bischoff.
Okay, so
Eric Bischoff, around this time,
the little weasel guy.
Vince Russo.
No. He was around the time of Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Oh, Jimmy Hart.
Jimmy Hart.
Maybe it was Jimmy Hart. Little guy. Yes.
Yeah, that's Jimmy Hart.
Yeah,
Jimmy Mouth of the South.
Mouth of the South. That's it. Yep.
So this is where they come up with their plan to sneak attack Diamond Dallas Page, and they sneak him backstage into, and this is probably the most unbelievable part of the movie, is WCW performing Nitro in New York City. The only reason for that is that's WWE's home turf. Like, that's their headquarters.
That's what
WCW never went to New York because
no one else did. No one else went to New York. Yeah.
And WWE didn't go to Atlanta until after the war was over. So but then again, that's so inside baseball. Only I got that.
Yeah. So, I forgot about that, to be honest, despite everything you and KMA taught me.
Yeah. So they sneak Jimmy King in through a porta potty, where did they get?
There's a whole bunch of them there, as it turns out. And I don't know why this arena has a bunch of porta potties and no plumbing.
But they just picked up a skid mover and just picked it up and walked in? Like, okay.
Yeah, there was no scene where like they grabbed two other idiots and kind of, tie them up backstage and grab their uniforms. Like they just and at this point they lost their trucks, so they don't have any of their regular gear.
No.
So they just know what to do because that's their job, but they don't have any resources. So did they beat up two guys and take their shit? They're like, what happened? Or take their shitter?
And I guess nobody is cluing into the fact that they're talking, hey, Jimmy the King, we're going to give you the signal when it's time to come out. As they're walking through the backstage area. No one's going, whoa? I guess it's one of those times where they're not speaking loud enough so the other characters can hear them, just us. Okay.
But somehow they managed to get in. No security.
Yeah.
it's all good.
And they punked Diamond Dallas Page during a promo.
Which is not really part of the plan.
Well, it was the plan. But then Sinclair, like I said earlier, he says, okay, fine. You want a title match? Fine. You can have a title match. And I'll put $1 million on the line. I hate you, but I'm going to give you more that I don't want you to win because reasons.
Yeah, that's not really set up as to why the promoter doesn't want him around anymore.
Yeah,
like they talk about it, but they don't.
Well,
there's no scenes with Oliver Platt being like such a shit heel that no one likes him. We cut straight to this guy's going to lose the belt tonight.
We kind of get a little bit at the beginning with Diamond Dallas Page going, oh, you're late to shows again, and Sinclair doesn't like dealing with him, and he hates him, and he's boring, and he doesn't want him to be champion anymore. I think it's enough.
Yeah, it's enough, but I will say that Oliver Platt's character was just grating on my nerves. Like, he's just so whiny through most of this movie.
Yeah.
And doing he's doing an Elvis impression, the King. Yeah. It just started to grate on my nerves. It's just like, Jesus Christ, when are we going to get to the point where he redeems himself? Because this whiny shit is getting on my nerves. Yeah.
Well, first they have to go back because we get that old cliche of going back to the farm.
Yep.
It's like taken from the Ninja Turtles movie. Let's go back to the farm.
Yeah. Let's get out of town because it's a little too hot in the city.
And this is where we get the guy that's okay. So they're looking for a new quote unquote king's court. They're looking for guys that'll back him up in a fight. And they meet and they go through a couple of guys and it's like wrestling's fake. Boom, that's feel fake. And then he beats up a couple of guys, and then the guy starts to sing Oklahoma, like he's auditioning for Oklahoma, the musical. I'm like, at what point in this barn with a makeshift wrestling ring, surrounded by guys who look like fucking wrestlers, did you look around and think, hey, yeah, this is the auditions for a fucking musical?
Yeah, I don't think you know the play very well if you think this is the right place to be. Like, and he went last.
I know it's Lux. Where was it? Wyoming?
Wyoming, yeah.
So, but they get their thing, and
of course you have to have that second act where Jimmy doesn't want to do it, so then he goes to visit his wife, his ex-wife, apologizes, says he's going to make good after getting kicked in the nuts a couple of times.
And he gets kicked in the nuts a lot.
A lot. And it's like, yeah, his boys are damaged at this point.
Oh, he never need worry about wearing a condom again.
No.
Not for, there'd be no pregnancy scares in his future.
It's the equivalent of, like, when they talk about Michael J. Fox in the Back to the Future movies, how many times he hits his head. It's like, this kid, he's got a concussion through the entire. It's the equivalent of, this is the ball kicking equivalent of Michael J. Fox's headbutts. It's like you can't get hit that many times in the crotch, in the balls, and not have some sort of twisting, turning thing going on,
or something
things.
Popping
or something popping or peeing blood. It's like
yeah. You ever seen those YouTube videos where like a medical professional will go through a movie and be like,
oh yeah,
where they like this guy should have, they tallied up like this guy should have died like 14 times or whatever.
They have it with lawyers too. It's like, okay, if they would have done this in the movie, that would have happened.
Yeah, case closed.
Case closed.
Yeah, all they do is say this and it's case closed or get it thrown out. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, but I want one of those medical professionals to just look at the ball trauma here and say, what is your opinion? Mm-hmm. What do you think is going to happen? Like get a urologist to be like, oh my God, this guy's a dead man, you know? Yeah. So he basically now he's going to do it. He's doing it for the wife and kids or whatever. And his, so then they finally, where's the main event's in Vegas. Yeah.
Vegas. Yes. Sorry.
Oh yeah. It's in Vegas, the MGM Grand. Yeah. So then, okay, they take the mobile home. Luckily, this piece of shit runs because it's their only means of transportation.
Yeah.
For the rest of the movie, and they make it back. There was the subplot with Rose McGowan, and the weirdest sex scene I've ever seen.
Yeah. So Rose McGowan, Jimmy Pants tells her to, get close to this guy to find out what's going on with the king. And so she sleeps with a guy.
Yeah.
Just because another guy told her to.
Yeah. Like I said, no will of their own.
No.
You know what I mean? Like Sid Vicious attacks a 70-year-old man just because he was told to.
I don't think she had to sleep with him.
Because she was getting all the intel anyway.
Yeah, that's true too. He was giving it to her.
Yeah, that's how they found out about Sal. Was it Sal, the trainer?
Yeah.
Sal, the trainer, yeah.
Yeah, that's how they found out about him. But after that, like, she's like, I'm done. And that's it. And she doesn't get to go back. But okay.
I do like the fact that David Arquette doesn't take her back. She appeals to him. It's like, I think we can be together. And he turns her down. He's like, no, I can't. After what you did to Sal, I can never take you back. So I do like the fact that we don't get the standard, please forgive me, let's reconcile scene. And she ends up getting hit in the face with a ladder. So.
Yeah, she actually, in other movies, she would have turned. She would have realized the error of her ways and then tried to make good and then be part of the good guy team.
Yeah.
Turning on the boss. Right?
Yeah, she tried to do that here, but David Arquette was like, no.
He has integrity, actually.
Yes, he has integrity with this. So.
Well, which out of nowhere, like this guy's like a complete idiot, but all of a sudden he wisens up to like, she's no good.
Yeah. And then there's a subplot where the other guy, who's the other guy's name? Not David Arquette. I don't even know who this person is.
Scott Conn?
Scott Conn. He's got a crush on somebody at a fast food place. She doesn't want to have anything to do with him, but this other girl at the fast food place has a crush on him.
And she's a wrestling fan.
And so that's touched on at the beginning of the movie. And then at the end of the movie, she's screaming for him because he's on television. It's like, what? That didn't even need to be in there. That could have been cut out because that had nothing to do with anything. They don't end up getting together because...
Well, they do. He does sleep with Wendy. When they go back home, she comes out to the tryout camp, and then he apologizes for being a dick to her. And then gives her...
It's when they're leaving.
Oh, yeah, when they're about to leave, gives her like a T-shirt from Vegas or something like
from
that.
Hard Rock Cafe.
Oh, from Hard Rock Cafe in Atlanta. Sorry, yes. And then she's like, "Well, I got you a present." Takes him into the camper, shags him, and then they have the whole awkward scene where they're both wrapped in a blanket. And she's got to get out. She can't come with them to Vegas, but he can shag her once before leaving.
Okay, I'm going to be honest. I missed that part because I was getting extremely bored with this movie, so I skipped ahead. So I must have missed all that.
Yeah.
It's like I'm having trouble watching this movie, so I must have skipped that
That's
part.
the gearing up scene. That's what.
Yeah.
They do this
because that's where Gordy gets. That's
get
where Gordy gets arrested and he's forced to do the cop test.
Right,
yeah,
which is why he shows up as a cop later
part.
on.
I skipped about 10 minutes, so I must have skipped that part.
Yeah, they do this. They do this bit where they're before they're taking off for Vegas, they stop and then they get out, but they're wrapped in a blanket, the two of them. He gives her the blanket. Now he's just buck ass nude, so we see Scott Conn or his ass a couple of times, or a stunt ass. I don't give a fuck. But anyway, and then everyone's like laughing because they saw him naked, right? But that whole thing, the audition thing. What came to nothing. None of those guys actually get involved, right? Like they're not even involved.
No, they're hired to be the King's Court, and then
you don't see them anywhere.
No, because Jimmy King starts in the ring with DDP, and then all the bad guys come out and attack him. Yeah, and then all of a sudden, Goldberg comes out with all the good guys, and he can't get in the thing. And then David Arquette comes in on his motorcycle, breaks down the side of the cage, which great cage construction.
Did he steal a police motorcycle?
I'm guessing he did.
I'm guessing he did.
I'm gonna guess that WCW didn't load one up in a truck every single Monday night. And well, I guess no one used it this week again, but let's put it back in the truck,
Especially not for him, since he wasn't supposed to be there. So
yeah, he must have stolen it and then driven it to Vegas. From Wyoming.
He must not have been very far behind either.
No, because he wasn't very far behind when they finally get to the event.
Yeah.
Maybe like a day? You figure they get there the day before the event, I'm guessing, right? And then whatever. But yeah. And I do like that. I mean, as entrances go,
No, it was fine.
Breaking a cage door with your motorcycle.
Like I said, all the wrestling stuff was filmed very, very well. Him breaking in, all the cage wrestling, and it looked like a wrestling match. It was,
yeah.
Excitement of it, yeah.
That's a real wrestling match. That triple cage actually happened.
It is
several times. So it was done much better. This one, this one was. It was Hogan and Macho Man against the Dungeon of Doom, which was a big stable of guys. One of whom was a brand new wrestler that was foolishly named initially the Final Solution.
Ew.
Because he was the final solution to killing Hulkamania. And then somebody after they aired that went, the Nazis? And they're like, oh, okay, the ultimate solution. No.
Yikes.
Yikes. Yeah, yikes is right. And then so Sting saves the day.
Well, yeah, Sting, we have one scene backstage where Joey Pants is basically giving him the get in line speech.
Yeah.
And Sting, I guess at the time he was anti-establishment kind of guy, I guess was his thing.
It's a long story. He was betrayed, so he became a loner. He dressed like the Crow. The Crow had just come out.
Yeah.
And he basically lived in the rafters.
Right. So this thing about swinging in from the rafters is actually part of his.
More or less, yeah. Then you get the whole joke of, I love Jimmy King. You love Jimmy King. We love other men. And then he gets punched. Because being gay was funny back in 2000.
Yeah.
And so he wins the match. He wins the title and the $1 million and gets a contract, I guess.
Now, here's what I don't like about the ending is that so we followed the two idiots across America and back, like they go back and forth a couple, like to Atlanta, from Wyoming to Atlanta and then back to Wyoming and then to Las Vegas and whatever. And then they get there. This is their sacred quest, right? Like they have not let logic or reason stop them at all in the pursuit of their goal, which is getting that belt back on Jimmy the King. What happens when they get there? Sting shows up. They're just chatting him up like there's no tomorrow. Oh, look, here's Rose McGowan. We got to close this loop. Never mind, Jimmy the King is getting his ass beat by like 14 other dudes and, being thrown around a cage. I'm just going to stop and chit chat and not going to help him at all. Like I've done my one thing when I got here, but that's it. Where's David Arquette running loose on the other, maybe some of the lesser name wrestlers? Why isn't he doing more of that to help? You know what I mean? Why isn't he like Scott Conn does a little business with what's that?
Because he's David Arquette.
I'm just saying they were there. The characters are there to help Jimmy, and then they do one or two things, and that's it. And then
they're there to stop Rose McGowan and St. Clair because they're the only ones that they can take down.
Yeah, I did like the dust trick on DDP though. You have to. Like, you can't have a wrestling movie without someone getting the old powder in the eye, right? Like, that's a classic.
Kid, that never works. Like, why?
And the handcuffs?
Yeah. Whatever. The handcuffs work.
Oh, by the way, sorry, I don't want. Well, I want to go way back to the first match with DDP and King. So, if you're the referee, right, you're told that Jimmy's supposed to win, but then all of a sudden things take a turn. DDP should have won that match, but it should have been by disqualification, right? Because he takes a chair to the head. King hits him with a chair. It should have been a disqualification. That should have been the end of the match. Right?
Yeah.
By wrestling law,
But wasn't the referee knocked out from behind?
I don't think he had been at this point. I know he does get thrown out after. Once the cronies come in.
Yeah, but DDP throws King through a table, which is randomly set up at ringside.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a hardcore match. I don't know.
Yeah, but I just thought
2000 wrestling was a little crazy. So
something like that could happen, and called. Yeah, okay,
especially in WCW.
Okay, fair enough. Sorry, I meant to bring that up way earlier at the beginning of the podcast when we were talking about the first match. So. But getting back to this one now, it definitely is hardcore, so all bets are off.
Oh, yeah. So he wins, and then he's like, Mean Gene says, are you thinking about, now that you won the world title, are you thinking about the tag titles? Are you thinking amalgamation or unification? I'm like, can't unify the world and tag team champions.
Yeah, a singles title and
a tag title?
Tag team title. You can't, yeah. Unify with
WCW maybe, but okay.
No one else exists in this in this universe. There's no other wrestling company, so it's not like you're unifying with NWA or whatever.
Hey, if you can get a title match just by attacking someone in the company you don't work for, so.
There's the sequel. Poor Joey Pants just walking down the street and some random idiot just attacks him so he can get a title match.
So he wins, and they're all have champions, and then they do a blooper reel, and they show the one scene where at the beginning of the movie, Gordy is daydreaming about how he's getting picked on by the local stop and
Convenience
slurp
store.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is where we find out in this movie, boob is an insult. You boob.
We also get retard. It's like anybody who believes in wrestling is a retard.
Oh,
yeah.
We still that
It's
was
2000. That still flies.
that still flew in the 2000s.
I think that was the last one.
Yeah.
Like that. Like they're like they use it in what? Okay, we
Yeah.
can't use this anymore. This is offensive. We're not doing this anymore.
But he has a dream sequence where the store turns into a wrestling ring, and the Macho Man Randy Savage and Gorgeous George, his manager at the time, come in to help the shop clerk. And then Jimmy King comes in to help him, and blah blah blah, and it leads to a thing. But in the bloopers, you see the one blooper where Oliver Platt comes in, goes to fake punch Macho Man Randy Savage, but actually hits him.
Yeah.
And he actually hit him during the filming. They didn't keep it in the movie, obviously, because you go, oh, Randy. you can see you can see the I'm sorry and also the fear.
Yeah.
That a roided out Macho Man Randy Savage is gonna pop up and just beat the ever loving shit out of me. So.
You know what they say? Never punch your heroes. You know?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, that. It's too bad Macho Man wasn't a bigger part of the whole thing. Like, I don't know why he wasn't there at the end. You know, as part of either crew.
He had to go film Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, this was a Bonesaw warm up. Yeah, gotcha.
It's a Bonesaw warm up.
Yeah, roger that. Okay, fair enough. 3 minutes of playtime. I'm going to go be in a much bigger, better movie.
I recently found out that Macho Man, he was almost a professional baseball player.
When he was younger, yes.
Yeah.
He tried out for the Cincinnati Reds.
For the Reds, yeah.
Huh.
Yep, almost made it.
Almost made it. I think he might have been.
He played in the minor leagues.
He played in the minor leagues. I think he might have played 1 or 2 games with the Reds. Didn't make it, but I'm like, yeah, there's like a picture of him in a Cincinnati Red baseball hat. It's like, yeah.
Wait, there's actual like Major League Baseball records.
Yeah.
With stats for a Randy Poffo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep. So, and that's of course the end of the movie. Yay, and so forth. Oh, and then they go back to the thing. I know it's a movie. Oh, we should mention, actually, before they go back to Vegas, they try to recruit Goldberg to be one of the King's Court. In the background of that scene, behind Scott Conn and David Arquette, there's a guy who gets into one of the workout machines, the one with the arms that you bring together. I don't know what they're called. He's blonde, and he's a future WWE champion. Do you know who it is, Mark?
No, I didn't see.
John Cena.
John Cena?
Yep, he was
in
in the
this
background.
movie.
Yep.
Just working out.
Yep, he was in UPW in California at the time, just starting out, and so that's where they got all their extras because they needed gym rats, right? So.
And he would have been right in there for sure.
So. But yeah, so I know this is a movie, and at the end of the movie, they go back to the thing, and Scott Conn is telling the story to the kids, and he's like, well, that's just a one-off. You're not really working with the WCW. And all of a sudden, crash! And Bill Goldberg throws the
convenience store
the
clerk.
convenience store clerk through the front door, which, A, is a lawsuit. And B, and again, I know it's a movie. Why is Goldberg wearing his fucking ring gear? Why is he in his tights and wrestling boots?
I was going to ask that. He just walks around like that all the time?
No.
This movie would posit.
No, he doesn't. No,
Every time he does not own a shirt.
And then they take off in the
There's that one Nitro
Hummer
girl.
limo, I guess, with the
Yeah.
with the hot tub and whatever.
In the scene where they see the Nitro girls kind of backstage in the dressing room, they're like naked, and all the shots they're in their underwear.
They're not naked.
Yeah,
nobody's naked.
Yeah. I wrote that down. And I'm like, naked. You keep using that word. I don't think
You
it
know
means what you
naked
think
is.
it means.
I don't think you know what it means. Yeah, either that, you're writing checks that your movie's not cashing there, Mr. Arquette.
Yeah. Yeah, the Nitro Girls were not going to go naked. Mind you, they danced in pretty much close to nothing. So a couple of things on this movie. We talked about John Cena. And around this time of the movie's release, David Arquette made a string of appearances on WCW television. This is in 2000. Fortunately, through various wrestling circumstances, he actually became the real WCW champion. Not only did he win it, he defended it successfully.
How many times?
2 or 3.
Really?
Yeah.
He had an actual title run.
Yeah. Now, that was bad. Nobody liked it. Even he said it was the worst idea that they could possibly do. But what he did do, instead of taking a paycheck for him, he donated the money he made from that run to the family of Brian Pillman, who had died a couple of years earlier.
Oh, okay.
So at least something good came out of that.
Yeah. Family need. Yeah, but
If you're a wrestling fan, you know Brian Pillman tragically died in October of '97. His wife didn't get any help from WWE, who Pillman was working for at the time. David Arquette changed that. So, and then went on to have a pseudo wrestling career on the independents, and it didn't go well. But as always on this show, we try to find the real story behind the story. Mark?
So before I get to that, I do have a couple things. One, I did like Scott said, the wrestling stuff was actually pretty good. And I also liked how they transitioned from basically wrestling to stage fighting, to go from the fake wrestling where they're calling the shots to, when DDP, quote unquote, really punches.
Oh, okay, I see.
Flat. Yeah, it's more of a stage fight type thing, right? To show that he's now not in the wrestling world anymore. He's now just getting the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah.
The other thing was the David Arquette's Gary's dad, or Gordy's dad, sorry. Mm. He has this line that I'd had a couple of beers. So this got me. He goes, just because it's your dream doesn't make it right. And right then I had an existential crisis. I was like, oh my God, all my hopes and dreams. Yeah. What if they're all wrong? Oh my God. Yeah, so I had a little freak out kind of mid-movie. I'm not sure what I missed, but okay. I mean,
but he's wrong, Mark. So,
but the Nitro Girls came back. I remember that. I think that's when I woke up again. I
bet.
Like,
yeah.
I was like, oh wait, what? Oh hey. But yeah, I was like such a poignant kind of even thought to have in this movie about idiots running around.
Yeah.
Talking about professional wrestling. It just seems so out of place because there's something there. There's something behind that. You know what I mean? To really to kind of chew on. And I was like, it doesn't belong here. What the? Morgan Freeman should be saying this for some reason. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. See, you know what I mean? The instant gravity. Anyway, so my or is it one man's expensive excuse to go to wrestling school? Yes, I'm calling out David Arquette because of all the stuff you said. It wasn't just this movie. He actually has a little bit of a wrestling career afterwards. He wouldn't have done it without this movie. He gets to go learn to wrestle, get paid to do it. He's not one of these chumps that pays a guy, to teach him in their garage. He gets to go learn from the best and get paid to do it as part of a movie he's doing. Like, brilliant.
Well, there were rumors that this movie caused Courtney Cox to break up or divorce David Arquette because it was shortly after this movie came out that they divorced. But that's totally not the truth.
If he came home screaming his face off like he does in this, he's trying a little too hard. No, and everything is just on 11.
Wrestling's not fake.
Yeah. Every line is delivered on 11, and if he comes home with that energy, I can see why she might be like, all right, I'm going to the coffee shop anyway.
I would say, or is it we're not holding the blame, like all the wrestlers in there. It's like It's like, we're going to do this movie and we're going to take none of the blame if it sucks. And that's it. It's like, we are just doing what we do, and we're getting paid extra for it, and we're going to be in a movie. And if it fails, it's all going to go on David Arquette and
the writers
and all that. So it's like, this is basically the ultimate. We've got nothing to lose. This is the ultimate, or is it we got nothing to lose? It's like, we're doing what we do best, and it doesn't matter if the movie makes $80 million or $12 million. It like we're just doing what we do, and we have absolutely zero input on whether it's not going to affect us at all. And that's just a great feeling to have. If you enter something and it's like, no matter whether it succeeds or fails, it doesn't affect me at all. I can just do what I want. That's got to be a great feeling.
So they're kind of like their characters in the movie, where they're just mindless drones that just go and do the thing and don't have to worry about any choices or responsibility.
Yeah. WCW is probably like, well, we get free advertisement, and you know what? When all the wrestling things are happening, just let us handle that. We go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Being the director on this would have been interesting if you're not from the wrestling world. It's like, okay, Bill, what do you want to do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
you just, well, camera's gonna be over here. On you, just do the thing. And action.
Yeah.
What about you, Dave?
I've got two of them. Or is it the wrestling movie for wrestling fans that did not help at all? Because the good guys of this movie were wrestling fans, but they were idiots. And they believed it was real. And they defended it against people who said it was fake. Now, everybody else was a complete and total over-the-top caricature. You know, the store clerk, the police.
Yeah.
Everybody that they come into contact with that is against them. But it still didn't help. It didn't make wrestling fans look better. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think the only one line that might have was at the end when he's like, when Joe Pants's thing that I made wrestling, and he's like, no, the fans made wrestling.
No, that's so pandering.
Yeah.
It's so pandering. I cringed when I watched it here, and I must have cringed back when I first watched it. No, you did make wrestling. We made wrestling. I'm like, look, don't lump me in with you, okay? you just take you and go over there and make your okay, it's still real to you, damn it. Okay, I got it. And this is more for the wrestling fans, or is it only about the 12th worst thing WCW produced in 2000? So, WCW in 2000, it was bad. So that's about it for Ready to Rumble. Scott, where are you going to be?
I'll be working at Comedy Sports, so check it out at comedysportshouston.com, and that's where I'll be when this podcast drops.
Okay. And your other podcast, Which Is More Gooder, that we appear on?
Yes. So take right now the current episode out on Which Is More Gooder. It's a Futurama and Family Guy, Star Trek based.
So that's going to pretty much do it for Ready to Rumble. I'm Derek.
Mark.
I'm Scott.
Join us next time. We'll take a look at the controversial adult film that sees one man rescuing sexy girls from Nazi-occupied Poland. Liam Knee-Length stars in Schindler's Naughty List.
Let's get ready to